as if you can't get any more tired of my face and the sound of my voice, I did want to make another video to further explain the actual complications that I have because of this surgery, things that I sometimes mention on my status, but I can't really explain it very well with words. So, this is your 411 about the complications of an esophagastrectomy. The first main complication is heartburn. Because an esophagastrectomy, your esophageal flap is removed. The esophageal flap is this flap that goes on the bottom of your lower esophagus that keeps the stomach acids from coming out. Well, because of this surgery, I no longer have one, and depending on what I eat, if I can eat, and depending on how I position my body, I could find myself a very sorry Jennifer. And on times when my heartburn really is bad, sometimes if I can swallow a heartburn medication helps, but sometimes I can't swallow it, so of course it doesn't help. And when I do get my esophagus dilated, because right now my esophagus, as I said, is tight, so stomach acids aren't coming up as often, but when I do get my esophagus dilated, there will be less protection for my esophagus to prevent against heartburn, so I don't know how that's going to happen. So that's complication 1. So complication 2 is something called dumping syndrome, and this occurs if, in fact, I actually am able to eat. So what happens with this is when I ingest something that's maybe concentrated in carbohydrates, it could be food, it could be drink, like ice cream or Ensure or cookies or milkshakes, foods that are soft enough that I should be able to eat, it goes right through my body instead of digesting in my stomach. So when this occurs, I have to be very hopeful that I'm near a bathroom, preferably at home, which is why I don't really like to be out eating, because this happens to me. And what happens to me is that either as I'm eating this food or after I eat, if it's all successful, because sometimes this happens with like some pastas, some rice, maybe if I eat 2 slices of pizza, this can happen to me, but either as I'm eating or immediately after I'm eating, I get extremely nauseous. So nauseous to the point where my mouth just salivates and salivates and salivates, and I have this urge to vomit, but I can't vomit, so I'm coughing. I'm automatically coughing, and I'm coughing as my mouth is salivating, and at the same time I'm dizzy and I get hot flashes, and if I'm not at home, it's a really bad situation. But if I'm at home, thankfully, I can prop myself up and lay down and just sleep it off, because that's the only thing that makes me feel better, is to sleep it off. And the problem with this complication is that no matter what anyone says, it is not going to go away. And so many people try to be as encouraging as possible to me, and they say, oh, well, you just had major surgery, it's going to eventually get better. The only way it's going to get better is me modifying my diet. It's not going to get better. It's not going to suddenly go away. It's not something that is part of the temporary recovery period. This is just something I have to deal with for the rest of my life. And it's easy to overcome, because all I have to do is just not eat or drink the things that are occurring, or if I do eat or drink something, I have to either do it in very small amounts or very slowly, like in the matter of more than 3 hours. So it's not really the greatest thing to happen in the world, and it makes matters worse when, first of all, I'm trying to eat and then this occurs. It makes me just want to not do anything at all, not want to gain weight, not want to eat, not want to do anything, not want to go to work. It's not fun, but that's complication 2. So the next complication deals directly with dumping syndrome, and that's modifying my diet, which has been extremely difficult for me, but with this kind of surgery, it's recommended that instead of eating 3 meals a day like everyone else eats, you should be eating 5 to 8 meals a day. And I am not used to that. I'm trying to do that, but since eating for me is very difficult and trying to swallow things, and usually it takes me hours and hours just to eat one thing, and so when I say eat pizza and you guys go, oh my god, I can't believe you're eating pizza, it takes me an hour to 3 hours to eat a slice or two, so it's not like I'm scarfing it down. But the way this is, I should be eating breakfast and then a snack and then lunch and then a snack and then dinner and then a snack. But the way I'm working and the way it takes me so long to eat, it basically means I have to put something down my mouth every single second of the day, which is something I can't do, and it's something I don't do, and I need to be meeting with a nutritionist so she can help me, but I can't see the nutritionist until March because that's how long it's going to be before the next one is free, and so that's something I'm dealing with as well, and it's not as bad as all the other things, but yeah. My final complication deals with scar tissue and muscle cramps, depending on how active I am that day. So of course, if I happen to try and walk real fast, or if I attempt running, then I will have a lot of muscle cramps. I do have a lump that's in the center part of my scar, which was very, very, very painful at first, but the pain has gone away. But if I do too much activity, that pain will come back. But another way I get extreme muscle cramps is if I throw up too many times when I'm trying to eat, and the pain goes from the muscles underneath my scar, up my diaphragm, and even to my heart muscles, and it makes living with this just as bad as when I'm experiencing dumping syndrome or when I'm experiencing heartburn. It just makes me want to be out of commission for a long time, not want to do anything, and it makes me depressed, blah blah blah. But yeah, such is life. I don't know how many times I've said that, but I'm going to say it again, such is life. So that's the 411 of all of my complications. I hope you have enjoyed your time listening to me. I hope it was informative, and I hope I was clear, because I think it's very difficult for me to be clear when it comes to describing what's going on with me, because it's completely psychotic, and I'm not really understanding it myself. So trying to convey it to other people is like trying to teach Korean. So I hope it's better, and I'm gonna stop saying so many times, and so I'm gonna leave you alone, and I'll see you next time I make a video. Happy Thanksgiving!